Hi, beautiful souls. I gotta go on a tangent. Okay, I had this incredible download, epiphany, awakening. Stay with me and tell me if this resonates with you. But language, okay? I love all people. Everybody to me is a beautiful soul. And I love, since I've been guided to get online and start sharing, I'm talking to people from all over the world. So many other languages out there. So many other languages. And you know what I'm learning? Every other language has like a distinct way of saying something, and it when you mean what you say in essence. And it's like only English. Like, who said and who is it that has been trying to make English the dominant language and ask everyone else to let go of their language and learn English? Ah, okay. There's many problems with this. Here, there's a beautiful comedian. I can't remember his name, but he was French, and he talked about how he was trying to learn the English language and he wanted to go on a date. And so he starts texting this girl and he says, "Did you want to go out tonight?" And she goes, "I'm down." And he reads the text, "I'm down," and hears it as the English language. Down is down. So he was like, "Well, I'm really sorry that you feel that way. I hope that you will," and I just picture his accent, right? Going, "I just hope that you feel better and that at one point you not feel down, you want to go out. I will go out with you." Like so funny. But look at how English, and truly, I'll take it a step further. In social work, we were taught the context of white power. It's horrible. In every way, English, white, where did that even come from? Someone who's good with history, maybe you can see the context of how power in the white context has completely disrupted our ability to truly and authentically connect and share all that we have in all these different aspects, all these different perspectives, all these different experiences. We're all a divine fingerprint and placed in all these different environments in the world. And in just the little bit of experiences that I've had, I can see that there's different vibrations and different wisdom in every place and every experience you could ever go or have. So careful not to fall into this concept that there's a right or wrong way to anything, and that language is truly what they've been using to separate us. They've taken a word in the English language and made it have this entire context around it to create this disassociation to any another person, place, or thing. And who's to say that that's right? Because really, where is the acceptance that society, look at how society is the one that taught us to be judgmental? Let's just use that word in any shape or form. They taught us that because I'm sorry, but if you're white, then you probably don't even see the white power that's all around you. But I challenge you, and this was in social work class, they went, go and find a band-aid that truly matches another skin color. Go and find dolls that authentically, truly, in any way represent any other culture. Books, sharing any other cultural traditions or ways, or is that easy to find? Or is everything pretty dominantly English and white? And and yet there's never really anything heavily. Society does such a good job at protecting that, doesn't it? That's just so wrong on so many levels. Can you see how this is separating us? They've done such a good job, really they have. But here's the cool part. Everybody is having an incredible awakening. And I know that not everybody is aware, but in every other culture they talk about the spirit, your soul, source, universe, dimensions, frequency, energy. All of these other things have been known to most other cultures, but English was really good at going like, they're like that, and that's like this, and I'm careful and careful and careful, and stay in this box, because again, if you're a history buff, wasn't there somebody back in the day who kind of had a context where they white, blonde, blue eyes, something like that? Are you following me? Are you feeling it? And didn't somebody back in the day try to get the whole world to believe this, and like, yeah, and didn't somebody back in the day try to find a way to like reach the masses to spread this delusion of the best world is going to be like this if we depopulate and create just a certain type of person? This is instead of allowing everybody to be their individual fingerprint. Wasn't there somebody back in the day who how did that person reach the masses? I think that person was the first one to give out a radio to everybody so that they could all tune into the news. I'm pretty sure. Again, I'm not a big history buff, and this is my attempt at trying to be sarcastic, so I hope that you're reading between the lines and staying with me. There's lots you can't say, but if you're aware, if you're tuning in, waking up, uh, yeah. So, and then I think we had the radio, and so everybody just was so excited. Then the first TV came out, and then those people in power, I think, got together and decided, hey, hang on a second, we're on to something here. If we just don't be as clear about it, and we kind of use language, we can, and we won't teach them how to use their mind themselves. We'll make sure that we just always make sure that they feel like they need to have the answers, and we'll give it to them. And that's what they all say. And then is there not, it's kind of digital. That person is kind of, it seems replicated in a digital context now. But I have discovered, because I don't have a TV and I don't listen to the radio and I just read ancient wisdom, which again, let me play with language here. Ancient wisdom in all other cultures, pretty much around the world, they've tapped in, tuned in, turned on a little bit, and they used words that then society started to take those words and say, oh, that's a religion and this is that. But everybody kind of had the core context the same, be loved, do good, connect, know that there's so much more than meets the eye. There's the source, and there's this and there's that. But it's just so interesting how they have taken language and said, I got to be careful with some of the words I choose here. New Age, okay? New Age, if you really look at the wisdom that's coming out as they are articulating it or allowing it to be articulated as New Age, because again, remember that they're paying attention, and they're trying to be sure that they're in control of what is released and shared. So we're trying to be a little wiser here, so stay with me. It's all ancient. What's new is the stuff they're sharing, the contexts in which they want you to think and believe. And what's the word that they use? Alternative, when it comes to natural paths and all the alternative, right? The alternative is what they're providing, because the ancient, again, the roots of all of these things have always been around. But they did such a good job of coming in and destroying everybody's ability to do that, right? And made sure that they took control and put us kind of into a box now where you feel like unless you follow what they say or the script in which they have developed for you, that you're wrong, or that there's something wrong with you. They've done a good job at that, to making sure that you feel there's something wrong with you. But here's what I've seen. everybody from other cultures are really good at being able to see through all of this. And I don't know the population, like there's 8 something billion people, but I wonder how many are truly a part of the radio following westernized society that's been brainwashed the most. I really wonder if everyone else that has always had a root in source energy connection, the fingerprint, understanding that you're a soul, that there's so much more, they're seeing all of the power happening. I think there's more. There's way more of us. And if this resonates with you, subscribe and leave a comment, because I want to know who are the ones that are awake or feel that you're awakening, that you're starting to see that there's so much more than meets the eye, and that it is really possible that you don't have to do what you're told, and that there is another way to live your life, and that language truly, like, really look at every word that you attach to, and ask yourself, if I didn't have an idea or an opinion or attachment to any of this, what kind of magic could I create? If I truly open my mind, what if there's more than I ever thought to any context? What if there's another angle? Because perception is really everything, okay? There is this post, actually, at one point, I got fact checked and blocked and everything off of one of the platforms, because I posted a picture of 2 characters, and on the ground was the number 6 for this person, because when they're looking at it, it's a 6, and over here, it's a 9. And I talked all about how perception is everything. Depending on the angle in which you look at something, it changes. And you can look at this and see this so clearly when even just going on a road trip with a friend. You ever had that where you're like, hey, look at that, did you see? And no, they didn't see. You just drove by the exact same thing, and yet one of you maybe didn't see what the other person saw, because we are truly only seeing the reality in which all of our experiences and everything has collectively created our perception. So this happens when you're even watch the same movie together with somebody. I don't watch movies, but I've heard this happen where you share your experience, or what you saw, or what the message was, and it could be completely different. Like, what is wrong with having a different perception? Again, it's language that has told us that this is right and this is wrong and this is black and this is white, and no, everything is gray. Just to stay open-minded, stay curious, because it's really, really fun to open your mind up and hear all kinds of different scenarios and experiences, and just these little things. Question everything. Like, most everybody, I think, puts their coffee cups in your cupboard like upside down, with the rim that you're going to drink out of upside down. And I see that a lot. Maybe it's just here. Again, please comment if you're from somewhere else and you don't do that. But I feel like I've seen it happen, because every grandma did it back in the day, because they went from like having nothing to, when they had lots, they kept it all, and there were so many cups and you were never going to use them all, and so you didn't want dust to get into them, so you kept them upside down. But can you please question why we still do that today, and why you're going to get upset if somebody actually turns that cup right side up? Because that's the way you've always done it, and that's the way it should be, and someone said, and so that's what we do. Holy, that blows my mind. Because really, I want you to think about it. Good for grandma, but you're not cleaning your shelves in your cupboard for your cups. And the part that's touching your mouth is then touching a dirty countertop thing. Why would you not leave it up? You're always using your cups. Unless you do have a cabinet where, okay, fine. But anyways, just, it doesn't matter. To each his own. There's no judgment. But do you see how we can get so attached to something because we were told and it was taught and it's conditioned and it's the way we've always done, and we don't want to do anything different because it just feels wrong? But really, stop and take a look at it. For the love of life, what would be wrong if you're actually letting the part that you touch in your lips to stay clean? Dust or dirt? I don't know. Your choice. But again, so many little things. I, for fun, go and Google, and this is what I do because I don't have a TV, so I'm always thinking and reading and researching. But the ends of a ham, you know how most people cut the ends of a ham off, and you think, again, that's old school. And if you go and look, like, why do people do things like cut the ends of the ham off? You want to know what the real reason is? Because back in the day, they didn't have a pot that fit that size of meat, and so they always cut and it just followed, it rippled. And so don't think that they are not aware of how easy it is to condition behavior if they can get, it's called herd mentality, sheep, every one person does, and they all just, it's follow the leader, 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 follow the leader. And isn't that in school too? Stand in line, follow the leader, sit still, raise your hand when you have a question. If you're, yeah, that's beautiful, isn't it? How they've done such a good job conditioning. But anyhow, here we are in a new world. And, when religion in all different contexts, and again, no judgment, they're just words. I think we're all trying to say the same thing. But I like to pull things apart and look at it from all the different perspectives. And so when they say like Jesus is coming back, yeah, for sure, because you know what? Jesus was Christ consciousness. He was going and trying to teach people how they could just heal themselves, and you could, through, believe, feel the love and the light, and use source frequency for all the good for mankind. And guess what? We can all be that. We can all do that. And isn't Jesus back if we all were to do that? Tap into that greater source, love and light, Christ consciousness, your divine connection. If we were to tap into that, believe in it, feel it, raise our frequency, I believe he's back. And you want to see a new world? Well, there it is. Because this also has always blown my mind. I've lived in a bunch of different places, and I've lived in cities where your neighbor is right next door. And how many people don't know your neighbor? I always knew everybody all around me. And we are so depressed a lot of the time because you're lacking that connection. You're lacking that divine, and you can feel that from a neighbor, because strangers are truly only friends you haven't met yet. You have to know that as a soul, when you charted your life to come here, you charted every interaction because there was going to be some sort of an exchange, whether it was a reason, a season, or a lifetime. People come in and out of your life. And you have to know that it's a divine interaction, that we're all beautiful souls on this journey here to work through the challenges of love and light and darkness, that contrast, the yin and the yang. And you choose your perception. How much are you going to focus on the love and light or the darkness? And it's language. Please pay attention to language, to habits, to conditioning, to just the daily things that you think and do. Question them. Why do, through this breakthrough, I love to think like this. So at one point I was like, why am I putting so much pressure on myself to get those dishes done before I go to bed or whatever, right? There's this like internal, like I'm totally doing something wrong if I don't do, and they're habits. And when you dig to the root of it, because I was raised, you don't do that. And so somehow I kept carrying that tradition up. For what? I boycott any of that. Now it's all about what's in my best interest in the moment, in the given time. As I tap into and listen to in my divine inner compass, my divine guidance, we're always being guided. And you know how you know what to do in that moment? Any moment, stop, stay still, ask, and you're going to feel it. And even if in that moment, like when you're breaking through from those habits, like I'm going to put the cup like that, or I'm just not doing the dishes, or you're going to have all, because on a cellular level, everything in you is going to come up and be like, change. And you just take that deep breath and go, I see you. I see you, resistance. I see you, judgment. I see you, pressure. I see you, and I release you. I release you, and I'm staying right here in my divine power right now to break free from that, so I can open my mind, because even just doing those little things can and will transform your awakening. And this awakening, the word, I think just truly means tapping more into that, tapping more into all of those instinctful feelings that you have, where often we second guess them, or we don't do it, or we'll follow through with our habit because that's just always been the way it's been. And I used to hear that growing up too. Like, I would question everything. I always did. And they'd go, because that's what we're doing, Jenny. It's the way it's always been done. Don't question it. Just do it. Nope. Hello. Can I speak to who said? Because I would really like to talk to whoever said we're supposed to, because I'll debate with them. I'll have a conversation. We'll look at another side of this, because maybe there's a better way. What if? What if? So I hope that something I shared with you resonated today. If it did, please subscribe. Please comment and let me know if you have anything else that you'd like me to talk about. Are you going through something on your journey? And let's, together we rise. Together we rise. Get to know your neighbor. Get to know yourself. Get to know love and above. It's within and around you, but we're often distracted and language is destroying us. So careful. Don't attach to any, use another word. There's so many words now for things. And if you can, speak another language. Much love and light.